Graham Cairns. He's a recently retired or semi-retired, somewhere in there, radio professional. And so he's our expert on all things audio. Graham, tell us how we sound good.
Thank you, Mr. Mr. Conference Chair. That's the word I was looking for. Hello, everybody. As David mentions, my name is Graham Cairns, and I am, amongst other things, a 40-year radio professional known as the Big Round Mound of Sound, although I'd like to think that I'm becoming the lean, mean sound machine as my diet kicks in. What I'm going to be talking about over the next few minutes is audio. And there have been a couple of issues that have come up today. I want to do a quick screen share, if I can, of a PowerPoint presentation. One of the issues that came up during today's webinar contest was the joys or otherwise of running hybrid meetings, and the issue that was the single biggest issue as listed in the poll that we were asked to take part in was getting the audio right in the room. It's not hard for who here, can I ask, has actually been involved in or is currently involved in running hybrid meetings? Can I get a show of hands? Anyone here had a problem with the audio in the room, particularly those online not being able to hear anybody in the room? Has that been a consistent issue? Yeah, good. Well, there is a solution, but unfortunately it's not free. One of my clubs, for which I am Sergeant at Arms, has actually gone and bought a set of Rode wireless microphones. These are literally they clip on microphones. As you can see the size, they are tiny. One end clips onto the speaker or sits at the lectern in the room. The other one just plugs into the laptop computer, and everybody online can hear the people in the room as if they were in the room as well. And that's really, really important. Now, there are other ways of doing it, but quite frankly, a wireless microphone, if you can figure out a way to justify the expense, somewhere around the $200 US mark is the sweet spot, then that will make your hybrid meetings so much better. The other alternatives, of course, are you can use the microphone which is built into your webcam. Now, most clubs use the microphone in their webcam. Most people online for meetings use the microphone which is in their webcam. What are the advantages and disadvantages of using a microphone that is built into the webcam? Well, the advantage is that you don't need any extra technology. It's already there. If you've got a webcam, and obviously you must have a webcam, otherwise you can't be online, whether it is an external webcam like the one I'm using here today, or an internal webcam like you will have in your laptop or your mobile phone, the advantage is that it's already there. The disadvantage is that, quite frankly, it is not good audio. And particularly with a laptop, the further away you get from the microphone, the more and more problematic the microphone in your webcam goes. Now, if you're going to be running meetings regularly, if you're going to be participating in online meetings regularly, then I suggest that you need to look at an alternate form of microphone. I have two that you can see here, which I use and I use quite regularly. One is my Yeti Blue microphone. That's actually the one that I run my small business doing voiceovers with. And the other is my Rode USB NT microphone. It's a lovely microphone, even if I did drop it and break it, and that's why there's a little chip missing out of the top right-hand corner. Each of those will be somewhere in the $150 mark US. And so it's not cheap, but it's worth it for me. I do podcasts. Anyone here do podcasts? Quick show of hands. If you do podcasts and you are involved in having interviews with somebody where you are speaking to somebody and they're on the other side of the microphone, the beauty of the Yeti is that it has multiple settings. It has the setting which it is currently set on here, which is a cardioid microphone. So it's only using one side of the microphone. You speak into it, that's the side that works. There's the stereo, which is next to it. There's the whole room, which is, or there is one to the other. So you can have just the two sides of the microphone. Everything off the side of the microphones is silent. just the front and back of the microphone works. That's a good way of doing it. Now, this box here, I got to show you this only because I'm actually really quite proud of this. As I mentioned, I run a small business which does voiceovers for YouTube videos, explainer videos, the occasional radio commercial, but mostly phone on hold, that sort of thing. I don't have a soundproof studio, and I don't want to spend some thousands of dollars converting one of my rooms into a soundproof studio. So instead, I converted a box. This is a standard box, you know, the sort of box that you put shirts into, but then folds flat. One of those, and I bought some acoustic baffling foam off YouTube, and I cut it up, and I then stick my microphone into that box. Now, it's not perfectly soundproofed, and it is not a soundproof studio, but it baffles all of the noise coming from all around other than that which I want, which is me speaking into it. And then I use Audacity, and I want to talk about Audacity here. Audacity is recording software, which has a number of advantages, but the primary advantage to Audacity is that it is free. There is no cost to Audacity. You can, if you wish to, pay for it. If you think that these guys and girls have put together software that you reckon is worth supporting, then you can give them money and they will quite cheerfully take it. Gee, there's a surprise, but it is free, and it is, look, I've got Adobe Audition, which is the full-blown Adobe audio version of Premiere, the filmmaking software. And I never use it because Audacity does the job just as well. Let me show you how Audacity works. This is a piece that I have recorded, and you can see here, you can see the waveforms that are my voice. I'm not going to play because I haven't turned the audio on, but hang on.
And here's tip number 10. Always finish.
And there's a mistake. So the point is that you can actually see, it's a visual form of editing, which makes editing audio so much easier. So if you're going to be giving presentations where you have to show people or give people recordings, then I would suggest Audacity. So that's audacityprojects.org, I think, but I'll put a link up in the chat because there's been about 7 different versions of it. Audacity is a great bit of software if you want to use good, cheap, well, free audio editing. Get yourself a decent microphone. Now, you can buy one for as little as $50. I noticed, for example, that Marcus earlier in his presentation had a Samson microphone. It's a really nice microphone, as you probably heard, sounded delightful. It was around the $100 mark. These ones, the ones that I use, are a little more expensive, but then again, they are pro quality. But get yourself a decent microphone, because your voice is the carriage for what it is that you are saying in a meeting. If you're speaking and you sound like you're really in a tunnel, it just doesn't work. Make life easy for yourself. Buy a decent microphone, same as you buy yourself a decent camera. That's my audio. I've got a red light. I'm going to shut up. If you got any questions, please see me in the chat after in the speaker breakout room after our next 2 speakers.